Profile to protect America. The threats to attack us right here in the homeland are piling up, but there's a common thread to these attacks on America. Isn't it time to profile? It's the controversial but common sense plan that no one has the guts to talk about except us. And then wave the white flag in the war on poverty. The most expensive war in U.S. history is a colossal failure. We've got the shocking numbers to back that up. And then this, more controversy in the National Felon League. Teams are benching players at the center of the abuse scandals, and the beaters are still getting paid, but should they? Cashin starts right now. Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Boing. Welcome to Cashin. Our Cashin crew this week: Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Michelle Fields, and Jessica Ehrlich. Welcome, everybody. Are we safe from terrorists right here in America?
We have not yet detected specific plotting against our homeland.
The intelligence community has not yet detected specific plotting against the U.S. homeland.
There is no evidence to indicate that ISIL right now is actively plotting to hit the homeland.
So the White House says there's no credible threat here in the homeland, but we know ISIS is recruiting terrorists to attack us right here on our soil, and this guy just got busted recruiting jihadists for terror right here in the U.S. While the administration buries its head in the sand, we know how to find the terrorists among us. Profile, profile, profile. Wayne, this is the most controversial topic we've ever done on Cashin, but isn't it time to profile?
Well, Eric, absolutely. I mean, it just makes common sense. I mean, if you're looking for a fugitive who's, say, a white male over 50 years of age, I mean, you're going to profile. You're going to look for that person. You're not going to look for somebody who's 21. So yes, absolutely, you should profile. You've got to profile. I know there's a delicate balance between liberty and if you will, and security in these cases, but there's no other way to do it. You've got to do it. Yes, of course, it's stupid not to.
All right, Jonathan, what about it? Are we trampling or are we trading on the Constitution by saying maybe it's time to profile?
Well, Eric, we should be listen, we should have been profiling on September 12th, 2001. I mean, let's take a trip down memory lane here. The last war this country won, we put Japanese Americans in internment camps. We dropped nuclear bombs on residential city centers. So, yeah, I think profile would be at least a good start. It's not on skin color, however. It's on ideology. Muslim, Islamist, jihadist. That's a good start, but it's only a start, Eric. We need to stop giving Korans to Gitmo prisoners. We need to stop having Ramadan and Iftar celebrations in the White House. We have to stop saying that the enemy is not Islamic. They are. That's how you get started.
Let me add one more. Jessica, I'm going to just go through a couple of these instances. 83 Beirut Marine Barracks bombing. 1988 over Lockerbie, Pan Am blew up, killing everyone on board. 1993 World Trade Center, 6 people were killed. I was in the building then. 9/11 on the way to the building, World Trade Center. There's something common there. Not only is it Muslims, not only are they Islamists, Muslim males. Is it okay to say it's time to start profiling Muslim males? I say yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can actually use that as a fully effective tool because, you know, I was down in the buildings in 9/11 also down in New York, and I was one of those folks that was down there. And we have to start using all of the tools that we talked about in the 9/11 reports. And that is building a profile that isn't just going after these men. I mean, we've seen this now, not only in the U.S., but over with ISIL, that they're recruiting women. I mean, we really have a problem here that is for the hearts and minds of people. This is a war like we've had before, whether it was with communism or anarchy that we had anarchists in the last century. We need to be focused on what is really the issue here. And as Jonathan said, the one thing I agree with him is it's not about going after the color of someone's skin or whether someone has dark hair or looks swarthy or, you know, there's certain things that they look for in terms of a profile that need to be addressed.
Ideology.
Hold on. Allow me to get Michelle in here. Michelle, look, there are people who are going to say this is crazy talk, but you can't profile everybody. You have to focus your attention, your resources on the things that happen most often. In this case, it's Muslims, it's Muslim males that have killed Americans. Why not time to profile Muslim males?
Well, it's a piece of information, right? To ignore it would be irresponsible. The fact of the matter is we don't have a problem with extreme Buddhists. We have a problem with extreme Muslims. To ignore that is not fair. This is to protect all Americans, Christians and Muslim Americans, everyone, because they pose a danger to all of us. And if you're a Muslim who's going to Syria, yes, you should be tracked. We should know what you're doing there, why you're going there. I don't think that that's irresponsible.
Go ahead, John. You want to jump in?
Well, and it's a stopgap measure, Eric, at best. I mean, Homeland Security, this whole notion of Homeland Security, which was started by President Bush, however, has been a failure. You don't protect yourself by building walls, fortressing yourself up and hoping that the enemy can't get through. What you need to do, we've talked about this before, is name the enemy, declare war, total war, and delegitimize the ideas so that the enemy gives up the will to fight.
Ahead,
I disagree with Jonathan. This is not all Muslims. These are extreme Muslims. They have an extreme point of view. That's who we should be going after.
But aren't all Muslims suspect? Don't we look at all of them with some suspicion, given the history of Islamic threats towards this country?
Go after every single Muslim.
So hold on, guys.
Isn't that what profiling is?
Let me give you a real-life example. Okay, so you're sitting at the airport, you're waiting in a long line. Would anyone here have a problem with a TSA officer saying, you know what, I'm concerned about the way you look. I want you to come into this line. Does anyone have a problem with that? Because I certainly don't. And if I'm picked for that line, by all means, check me, profile me. Go ahead.
Eric, as I said earlier,
if
you're suspicious of somebody who is, in other words, if there's an all points bulletin out for a guy who's 6'3" and he happens to be wearing certain kinds of clothes and all that, you're going to stop and ask all of those kind of people. That's only natural. It's stupid not to. Of course, you're going to profile, and that's what you should be doing. In addition to which, we have neglected that in this country, but out of the yes, you got to be fair and you got to worry about this guy. Are you going to just pick out people who are this way or that way? Well, no, you're going to profile everybody who is committing a crime or is about to commit a crime, or you think is suspicious of committing a crime.
Jesse, I'm going to give you the last word.
Fairness.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not just fairness, it's actually being aware, because if we close our eyes to the possibility that they could be converting your next door neighbor or someone else, it's like the people who say, oh, I didn't know my neighbor was a serial killer. I mean, this is not something, yes, there's an ideology behind it, and you don't always know
which is why Homeland Security will not keep us safe.
Hold on. The common thread is Muslim and it's male. Look at the Boston bombers. They're homegrown, and guess what? Muslim
and
males.
There's a growing threat of women happening too, so we need to be aware.
Absolutely.
We need to address it. We need to have a national policy, and we need to implement it.
Certain amount of resources to go around. You can't profile everybody. You got to focus in on the common thread, and the common thread in this case happens to be Muslim males. We're going to leave it right there. Another amazing week on social media, folks. This 30-minute show put down a bigger social media footprint than our competitors' networks did all day. Think about that for a second. In 30 minutes, our Twitter reach outperformed the full programming day of some of our competitors. That makes you, our View crew, the most powerful group in all of social media. I just tweeted this. Which one of these two people would you suspect of being a possible terrorist? Take a look at the picture. Hashtag Cashin. By the way, we start that little hashtag right there. Profile to protect America. Retweet that if you agree to all your followers. Coming up, we go from the war on terror to the war on poverty. Is this war worth the cost anymore? We let the numbers tell the story next.
Don't miss a minute of your favorite shows. Fox News Go is the revolutionary way to watch Fox News Channel in real time live on your desktop. Stay tuned in 24/7 and get the information you need. So what are you waiting for? Go to foxnewsgo.com to start watching.